Yoyo Factory has been killing the game recently with awesome new releases. Nate Daly used his signature yo-yo, the ND Ultra, to win PNWR, and the same yo-yo took 2nd and 3rd at EYYC. If you haven't tried it yet, you're missing out. Also, check out the brand new Boost, Alex Satori's signature yo-yo. We're stoked to have Yoyo Factory on board. Thanks.
I used to make smoothies. I used to be healthy. I put fruit in the blender and the blender would go. But ever since I bought an SF yo-yo, I just don't do much of anything else anymore.
Forget about your life. Buy an SF yo-yo.
For more information about how to become an addict, log on to sfyoyos.com.
Hey guys, Leo here with the Coco team on the Scales podcast tonight, and I just want to let you guys know that the new Dasis and 650B Alley Cat have been released on Yoyo Rewind. This Dasis being a new capped yo-yo by us, very sleek with beautiful art. We will be featuring other artists from the community on there as well, and also the 650B being the second run of the Alley Cats, which is Ed Haponic's signature yo-yo, the fixed axle king himself. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, and quite personally I like it a lot. It has the new purple pads on the inside, so the grip is much better, all around better, responsive play. And if it's not your fancy, then you can take out the pads and then use the recessed ones underneath to have a slim training yo-yo.
Oi mate, you fancy a cup of tea? How about the yo-yo, a smashing yo-yo at that? Does that tickle your fancy? I wasn't supposed to do a pirate voice. Buy a smashing yo-yo, you bloody fool.
Good morning, everyone. I have a new G-Score drop to inform you all of. The new Big Boy 430 will be released on Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. It has a 63mm diameter and a 46mm width, so, as G-Scored Jake says, should be big enough to get the job done. Be on the lookout at gscoredyoyos.com for the release, and, of course, be quick. On Saturday, April 7th at 1 p.m. EDT, Caribou Lodge has something super special planned. You can find out what it is at that time at clyw.ca. Have money ready. One yo-yo that has been making waves in the competition scene when it isn't even out yet is the new Duncan Orbit, signature yo-yo of Tall Mordock. Fun fact, in the past month, it's already been used to win 2 1A titles, one from Tall at UOIC and one from Remy Baskin last weekend at Florida State's. These stats prove it to be an awesome yo-yo, and it'll be out in the next few months. Be on the lookout. One thing that I like the most about YoyoExpert.com is the ability to purchase any accessory that you can really think of in yo-yoing. For example, I'm always able to purchase my ideal competition set of double straight bearings, Yoyo Factory CBC pads, and even 1.5 kitty string, which is a favorite for many players. So, if you're interested in checking out all of these great accessories and great yo-yo products on Yoyo Expert, feel free to check it out and use the free shipping code SCALES, that is SCALES.
SF Yoyos. Who is he? Or who is she? I sit and I wonder before I start this interview. To my knowledge, the person that I'm speaking to lives on an island in isolation. This person could live next door to me. This person could be anywhere in the world and I have no idea. So why is it that I'm drawn to like this company? It's not just the mystery, but it's the curiosity that it provokes. How can one create a company and get you to love it without ever knowing who makes the product that you love? For SF, I think that it's their consistent branding, their sense of humor, and yo-yos that are so elegant and play just as well. This is SF. Hello!
Hi.
So, who am I speaking to?
SF.
Is that on your birth certificate? Do you have a birth certificate?
Yeah, I didn't think you'd lead with that question.
Listen, I told you that you have to be ready for anything. This isn't just some pansy over here. I'm ready to hit you with some hard-hitting questions.
Well, that part's a secret. Not for any particular reason, just is.
Whether or not you have a birth certificate? Or...
Am I getting birth certificate truthered?
Thanks for being here. Thanks for speaking with us. So I think one of the biggest draws to your company is the mystery.
That's the fun part.
When you started to plan out what you were going to do with SF, was this like the initial thought that you had, or what were your goals with this company?
Part of the goal was to not have our personal accounts be used for customer service, sort of. Because that seems to be kind of a big problem when running a yo-yo company, is that you stop being a member of the yo-yo community and you just start being a receptacle for customer service inquiries. So that was kind of early on in planning.
That's interesting. Do you find that do you think that it makes the workflow that you have better?
Yeah, it makes it a lot simpler because, nobody is ever messaging us personally about their yo-yo issue. It all goes to the SF accounts and stuff like that. That's kind of nice.
So when you say we...
yeah, so the who is SF question is kind of fundamentally flawed because it's not one person.
Oh, so we're getting somewhere. That's all I'm saying. We're getting closer. So let's say that we figured out who you people are, right? Do you think that would be a big issue for you?
No, not really. It really wouldn't be a problem. I don't think, at least.
I guess we'll have to find out
someday.
Maybe we'll find out right after this episode, after everyone finds out who you are, and I uncover you Scooby-Doo style.
Great exposure.
Yeah. So do you have a background in design by chance? I feel like your brand is really cohesive, and it seems like way more planned out than I would have anticipated from the start. I think when I first saw the brand, it just seemed like you had like one yo-yo and you had like a really simple logo, and it could have been anyone who did it. But then as your company has progressed, I think it's stayed on brand the whole time, and it's just been super, super appealing.
Yeah, kind of a lot of planning. Thanks for noticing. A little bit of background in design. I have some background in design. Some other members of our team, I guess you could say, have some background in design too. And most of it was planned from the start, especially the branding. And the whole on-brand thing you mentioned has been a really important thing, to have a consistent voice, for us at least.
Yeah, I think it shows all the way through, from the way that you post on Instagram and other social media. I just see Instagram the most. And also, you write out all the sticky notes a lot of the time that you include with the yo-yo, so it'll have like a personalized message, which is sort of ironic almost, because it's personalized, but you don't know who it's from.
Yeah, we like that part. It's kind of funny. We always thought the contrast to that would be interesting for people, because it's like a completely anonymous thing, and then they get a personal note about their dog or something, or prom.
Yeah, no, I think it's super cool. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I'm a bad interviewer.
It's cool. I have uncomfortably long pauses between words, so my bad.
Yeah, I'm also slow mentally. I think that it's funny because you'd think like in a mysterious brand that you wouldn't feel any connection, but somehow you've like managed to like tie it all together seamlessly, where I almost like your brand more because I don't know who it is. It's kind of like the best comparison I have is it's like if you ever are on message boards or forums, when you see someone's username but you don't know who they are, sometimes you'll get a different impression of who that person is, rather than if you see them on Facebook and then you see like all of their photos and stuff, but like you can imagine a totally different person.
Yeah, we like that too. We really wanted that to be kind of part of it, where SF could be its own person, have its own voice that was, like consistent with SF, and you can use SF to add to context to jokes and things like that. But we like that part of the anonymous portion a lot, just because it can be its own thing. It doesn't have to be each of the people behind it. Like a lot of times if you see another company comment, you're like, oh, that's this person, and you just imagine them as a human being and not like that account as its own personality.
Yeah, exactly. I think it works out really well for you. The other thing that I've noticed is that there's a consistency with the way that your yo-yos are designed. Do you have like a theory behind it? Do you have something that you want to be consistent throughout every design?
Kind of. I try to design where like certain curves will catch light in a like visually compelling way, but most of the rest of it varies project to project with like priorities you have going into the design and things like that.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw the original yo-yo you made, that was called the SF,
Yeah.
correct? So I think the way that it looked, it was an organic shape, but it had the ring on the inside, but it maintained that curve. And it's amazing how something so simple can... I think that's like that's what launched your brand into being something real. It was like, you look at that yo-yo and there was something about it that was so nice that, like, for instance, I think I like before I had ever played with it, I almost knew how it would play. And before I even played with it, I wanted it to be good. So it made it even better for me.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, no, and I think that is what you guys do so well.
Make things pretty.
Yeah, and that makes it better. It's like if someone just served you like a bunch of slop on a plate, even if it's the best food, like a perfect looking piece of like really average food is still gonna be like just as good
like
as
plating.
that. Not to say that yeah, it's basically like I mean, it's all presentation.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, we try to pay attention to plating in our design. So
yeah, I'm just saying that your yo-yos are kind of like a really well plated like egg.
Thank you. I think.
Oh, you're welcome. Don't think. You don't have to think. Throughout this whole process, what was the most difficult aspect of designing yo-yos so far? Like, were there any things that you ran into? And what advice do you wish someone would have given you before you had started making yo-yos?
Oh man, that's kind of a tough one. It hasn't really been very hard, I guess.
That's a great answer. I
guess advice someone should give somebody new to making yo-yos, just if you intend to make a brand, pay attention to your branding and things like that. But actually, the process of making a yo-yo is not all that difficult, which is nice, I guess.
Yeah, I think I think that it's all about the branding now, and that's what you do, I think, better than anyone else right now.
Well, thank you.
You've created a brand that I think is at the same time as being mysterious, like it's super lovable somehow. The juxtaposition between like the logo just being super plain and modern, and then the stupid sense of humor that you have, like, just really contrasts well.
Yeah, I think people like that. We've really focused on genuine community interaction too. That's been a pretty strong, I guess, point we've tried to go after, is just genuinely care about the people that use our yo-yos and things like that. Also,
Yeah, I see that a lot. How do you go about it? Like, what do you think that you do what's the extra mile that you put in that you think no one else does or you see few people doing?
Really going after trying to talk to individuals and things like that, on a level that shows that we pay attention to who they are.
Yeah, I think a lot of people lose sight, like, how many yo-yos, for instance, do you make per run? So, like, generally, or so far, how many have you been making?
A couple hundred usually.
Yeah, so it's like, you only have to connect with a couple hundred people. And I think that it's really easy to lose sight of that. When other brands, I think, are trying to market to an audience that wouldn't be interested or isn't even there, like the market of selling like relatively expensive yo-yos is small. So it's like you have to connect to each person that we already have here in order to sell them. What do you see your future being like in terms of quantity of yo-yos that you're going to make or goals that you have?
I have no idea. It seems so hard to predict. When we started the brand, it was a lot smaller. Obviously, we've grown recently, and in that time period, it seems like it's impossible to predict the amount of interest that comes with stuff. Initially, we were making like 50 yo-yos. Every time we would increase the run size, the support seemed to increase too. So we have absolutely no idea.
That's
what
awesome.
The future's like.
Did you find it surprising that you had such great support?
Yeah, completely. We didn't really expect it at all. So like in our first run when we started the company, we sort of just expected to sell no yo-yos. And we've expected to sell no yo-yos each run. So it's been a surprise. It's pleasant, I guess, every single time we drop yo-yos.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess that's the mindset you kind of have to not go insane doing this. I guess let's finish up. The last question is, simply put, what is your name?
SF.
This stupid company. Oh my god.
So annoying.
Okay, well, anyway, thanks for being with us and revealing nothing about who you are.
Yeah, Scales Founders.
I didn't say that. That's all I'm saying. Where can one go to check out your yo-yos?
You can check out our yo-yos at sfyoyos.com, or we frequently post stuff about them on Instagram too, at sfyoyos. We like to ignore our other social media a little too much.
Yeah, I think Instagram is the best platform anyway.
Same.
But thank you, SF, and thanks for listening to the podcast, everybody.
Peace.
All right, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'd like to thank SF for doing the interview, considering especially how risky it is for them to do it. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, that's G Squared, Duncan, SF, Smashing Yoyos, Corco, Yo-Yo Factory, Caribou Lodge, and YoyoExpert.com. And finally, please, 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 please share this podcast. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube, where you can check out our live stream. Like us on Facebook, and also like us in real life because we're people. Thanks.